Welcome back to episode 7 of the Derek Smith Spiel, and today I am here with Tim Jordan. Tim, you have got a lot of nicknames.
Do I know?
Yeah, list some of them off.
Tim Jordan, Timbo, Timothy, uh, Timbo Slice by good old Mr. Hess, the list could go on.
Too Tall Tim. There's a ton of nicknames. How tall are you?
About 6'2", 6'3".
6'2", 6'3", and
Yeah.
you're in 10th grade, right?
Yes, correct.
10th. So you're not even done growing.
That
That's
probably
insane.
am.
I think I'm going to top out at 5'8". I'm really 5'7.5", but that rounds up to
Yeah.
5'8".
Then you might as well go to 6 foot and tell the ladies you're
Right?
6 foot.
Exactly. I think the average height for men is 5'10", but I'm like the average sized woman. So
You're close
I'm at a
enough.
level playing field with.
Good thing you're muscular, that pulls the cards up for you a
Right.
little bit.
But you went to Tech Wars.
Yeah, I did. Me and Jacob Stoll did a skimmer car. It did not go so well.
Why do you think it didn't go so well?
We had no idea what we were doing. We had improper equipment as well.
Like the rubber band was faulty because you got
No, I'd say it would be the hook we used. I used a piece of 7018 welding rod.
Okay. So just so the listener knows, the paper glider, you made it like skims across the ground.
Yes.
And there's a rubber band that you hook up to the
skimmer
car and the hook on the bottom. You used a welding hook?
Yeah.
You didn't use a paper clip?
No. So we used these. These were like 1/4 inch thick or so pieces, almost flexi board type stuff, but
Okay.
with styrofoam. So it had to be a little bit heavier. And the rubber band at Tech Wars was probably like 1/4 inch thick.
It was
all the
a
way
big
around.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool. We were in GCC. That was fun to walk around.
It
there.
was.
There were definitely some hallways you probably shouldn't have been in.
Some cards we probably shouldn't have picked up and read either,
Did you see the giant Connect 4?
I did not.
That was pretty cool. I played a game with Lily and we tied. I was really hoping for the win, but I didn't lose.
Well,
You also did like a CAD drawing, right?
yes, we did. I did that with my sister Julie and your brother Don.
Yeah. And a CAD drawing is computer aided drawing. That's the right.
Something like that. I'm not the smartest of the bunch, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But
so reverse engineering, what goes into that? It's a pretty fancy term, but a simple idea.
Reverse engineering, they gave us a drawing of a part that's fully dimensioned, and they wanted us to make it into Inventor or Autodesk as a 3D drawing of what it came from before, on a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And reverse engineering, I think, is when you draw the part on that and then put onto a piece of paper, which is what Julie did.
Oh, so they give you like the big part, and you have to make a bunch of separate parts, and that's all obviously done on a computer, hence CAD. But you also weld. Go into welding a little bit, because it's really something you kind of need to do to understand. Even though it seems simple, it's not easy.
Yeah. Basically, you're watching a liquid go to solid, but you want to make sure, say you got two different thicknesses, you focus on one or the other, and you want it to look pretty too, which is fun over there.
So can you like sand down your weld?
You can use a grinder and polish it up and everything. One of the teachers over there say, grinder and paint will make a welder you ain't.
When you've got the welding mask on, well, there's newer ones so you can kind of see, but like the old school welding masks, you cannot see until you pull the trigger. Yes. How do you get used to that?
I use an auto darkening one, but if I had to use one of them, I just kind of sit it there, start the tack, and put the hood down. But that's hit or miss sometimes.
So do you think the most difficult part is starting?
Depends. If you're doing stick welding, yes, or TIG welding. TIG welding is quite the challenge.
Explain the difference between stick and TIG welding.
TIG and MIG. There's three different types that most people do. MIG, I call it a metal hot glue gun. Basically, you pull the trigger and you set the speed and all that. And the stick welding is you have a rod, say 60, 13, 70, 18, whatever that's the diameter.
Okay.
And there's electrode. Once you start that you can do anywhere, no matter if there's wind or not, or clean metal, because it has a flux around it and it shields the weld after it cools. So once it gets to solid, and then TIG, you have your tungsten, or depending if you're doing aluminum or not, you'll have that too in the cup, and you'll have filler rod if needed as well. But you got to control the heat and a whole bunch of other stuff on that.
So what welding would you say is the easiest? Probably stick welding.
MIG welding, I would say.
The hot glue gun welding.
Yeah.
How do you know when the metal's cool? Do you run it under cold water afterwards?
You're not supposed to, some people say, but if it's just for like looks or something, I'll just run it under water. But if I'm not going to need that piece of metal, I just let it cool itself.
And the gloves, they're really, the welding gloves, they're very thick and maybe it's just me. I think they're difficult to really grab things with.
Yes, they are. Especially you drop a piece of filler rod, you might as well take that glove right off. It's horrible.
So you already explained how to weld. It's like it sounds so simple, but you really got to try it. The first thing I ever welded was like you took a spark plug and 4 nuts, and it was supposed to be like a spark plug race car. Mine did not turn out too hot. I know there's...
It was a rat rod type thing?
Yeah, there were magnets on the side to help you hold everything up without grabbing it. And Mrs. Leone's son, he came in. I think he has a job welding.
I think he does.
He's really good. He tried to help me, but there was not much left to salvage of my spark plug ornament.
Yeah, it's a little more difficult too. You had that thinner metal and it's just quick tack. It'd be better off something maybe I could bring you over there and teach you a little bit whenever you got a free block.
Oh yeah. I would like to know how to weld. It comes in handy in a lot of things. My dad, we were doing a lawn in Silver Springs, and we had to spread topsoil. And how you would normally do it is you shovel the topsoil, or use a wheelbarrow. You basically dump it and rake it. Mm-hmm. But he welded just a simple square with a couple like angled metal pieces in the middle, and we would just drive over the topsoil and it would level it out.
Oh, okay.
Like it was a really simple thing.
Almost like a back blade type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it helped a lot. What's your favorite thing that you've welded?
Let's see here. I made 2 fire pits actually. I like them. I used the plasma cutter as well for that. I gave one to my grandpa, and we kept one at our house too.
Was it like an octagon?
It was square.
It was square.
It had 4 legs going down, and each side had a different design cut into it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you make a top too? Or just
no, I didn't.
Just a square?
Yep.
I love campfires. Are you a s'mores person?
Yeah, I do. I like a little... Not the average s'more. We have Reese's or Kit Kats instead of Hershey's chocolate.
With Reese's is good.
It is.
Now, with your s'mores, are you like Dylan? He always says burnt to the core. That's a s'more.
No.
You've got to get the golden brown.
Golden brown is the way to go. No way around it.
Though the only problem is sometimes when you slow cook it like that, it falls off the stick.
You got to rotate it quick sometimes when that happens.
Yeah, you really got to keep an eye on it. You got to be in it to win it. But the s'more is worth it.
Some of the people we camp with, they have a fishing pole s'more stick, and you turn you spin it.
So you spin the reel.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
But did they make that, or
no? They bought it somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
That would be a good gift. That's creative.
I bet Dylan would like that.
Dylan would like that, but he wouldn't really need it because he just burns his s'mores.
He doesn't just give him a torch and get him going.
I don't know if he really likes it that way or if he just doesn't have the patience for it.
Probably the patience.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Now, how about fluff? Have you ever had fluff?
I have not.
I haven't either. I don't really like marshmallows by themselves though.
I'll eat one cold, but like not cooked. I don't. When they're cooked, they're all mushy, and I don't know. I'm not a fan.
How about, have you ever played Chubby Bunny?
Played what?
Chubby Bunny.
No, I have not.
You do you know how to play?
No.
You take a marshmallow and you put it in your mouth and you say Chubby Bunny, and you just see how many marshmallows you can put in your mouth before you can't say Chubby Bunny. Yeah, it's a Darwin Awards game for sure, but whatever. You also run track.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say run. I do a lot of. I'm mainly a thrower.
Right. So, what throwing events do you do?
In indoor, I did the shot put and weight throw, and then in outdoor, it's the discus and the shot put.
Now the shot put that's the giant, or not giant. It's like the weighted ball.
Yeah, that's 12 pounds.
And the discus.
Yeah, that's more like it's almost like a frisbee shape, but it's smaller in circumference wise, but it's fatter, and it weighs more too, obviously.
How difficult is the discus? Like, is that a lot of footwork?
The discus is, I'd say, a little bit more difficult than the shot put. Depends, because if you don't spin it and get it flat, there's no point of even trying to go further into it, really.
Will it ever, like, you know how when you throw a normal frisbee,
mm-hmm.
if you don't throw it flat, it boomerangs and comes back? Does the discus do the same thing?
I mean, if it's windy, you can see it move around some, or if your hand goes like this, to say it's not perfectly flat, it'll come out sideways and kind of dive bomb down.
Gotcha. So your last track meet was last night against Geneseo.
Correct.
And you guys won that
one.
We did. How did you do in your events? I heard you did really well.
Well, I would have won the discus throw if I would have kept my feet in.
So there's a line you can't pass.
So there's a circle we have to throw in for both of them, and the discus circle is a little bit bigger than the shot put.
Okay. And
I barely hit the outside, but the measurer called fault on me. I was hoping he didn't see it. I felt it, but I was hoping he didn't see it.
So when they call a foul, it's automatically done. Do you only get one throw?
3 throws.
3 throws. Okay.
Some places you could get 4, like at invitationals, we get 4.
And invitationals, that's almost like a tournament. A bunch of schools are there, right?
Yes, we have, like, say 19 schools or so, depending on.
And you're all in tents, like.
Mm-hmm. Well, so it's the top 2 for each event that go from per school.
Okay. And the shot put, what's the difference between shot put and discus? You think discus is more difficult just because you've got to get the disc level?
Yeah, but for me, I feel like the shot put, I haven't figured it quite yet. But for a lot of people, the discus, it's because the shot put, people just muscle it out there.
Mm-hmm.
But well, it depends on the person too and their body size.
And you almost throw it from your shoulder, right?
Yes, you don't want to throw like a baseball.
Well, yeah, you destroy your elbow. If
I
you
watched a guy do that
baseball.
last night. You should have seen he was grabbing his elbow and not really thing.
That's scary. Do you see a lot of injuries in throwing?
Not usually.
Yeah. The javelin, that's not available in high
No,
school.
it is not.
Well, it's a pointy stick. Is that pretty much
pretty
why?
much?
If anything went wrong, it could go.
I think that'd be a really fun thing to do.
How does scoring in track work?
So at an invitational, which they go top 6 get points, which it goes from 10, 8, 6, 3, 2, 1 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And at a normal meet, it's just top 3, so 5, 3, 1.
Okay. All right, that makes a lot more sense.
And for the relays, it's 5 or nothing.
So you've really got to get the team to buy in to the fact that even if you don't win, if you aren't in first, you still got to finish out. And
yes,
obviously everyone wants to do the best, but that's it's all important. I remember I did swimming for 1 year, and that was COVID year, so 8th grade.
Okay.
And I was not in any scoring heats. I was in 2 scoring heats, and that was because there were so few people. All I had to do was finish to get points for the team, and I finished dead last. It was the butterfly that Oh man, that sucked.
I was
I
never a
was
swimmer, really.
I was so bad. But I got team points, and that's what they told me.
Hmm
They would say just
That's
finish, get us some
that's what our
team
track
points.
coach emphasizes. That third place could win it for us. You never know.
Yeah.
But
So, the runners and the throwers, do they have different workouts? Like, do you have more upper body workouts incorporated?
yeah, we don't. We do a lot of technique lately. Once the season, well, in the start of the season, we were in the weight room more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then once the meet started coming around, we didn't want to go heavy and be sore for that meet or whatnot.
Right.
But
So, like preseason, you do all the lifting, but then they figured during the season
mhm.
it might be counterproductive lifting.
Yes, well, if we have a meet, say 2 days or 3 days of practice before a meet, we'd lift a day in that 3 day span. Just
So your body has time to
yeah,
rest. That makes sense. And then form is definitely the biggest thing in throwing, you'd say.
yes. If you've seen Matt Auble throw, he was lengthy and he was strong. He holds like I think the Section 5 record actually for the discus
No
throw.
kidding.
hmm
That's
He was pretty crazy.
How do you think you guys are going to do this spring? Do you think you could win sectionals?
Sectionals is obviously the goal. We have a chance, I think.
Mhm.
Between us and the Oakfield, we're pretty much already won the division tonight, as of last night,
That's awesome.
beating Geneseo. We
Is
have
that
to,
your third year in a row winning division?
yes. We still have to beat Warsaw and Leroy, but Geneseo was our toughest opponent.
Okay. So yeah, you still got to show up,
Mhm.
but you
Pretty much.
should win.
Yes, we were projected to win
That's
the
exciting.
division in the beginning of the year, actually.
Well, that you had to show up, and you
Mhm.
guys did it. That's
We did.
exciting. Hopefully, everyone stays healthy throughout the season.
Yeah. So far, so good for that.
That's great to hear. Now, final fun question. If you had to choose between, you can only choose one, would you take peanut butter or jelly?
I'd have to go peanut butter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are you a big jelly fan?
Not really.
No.
I like peanut butter balls, anything with peanut butter. Really.
I would have to take peanut butter too. You've got Reese's. Even just plain peanut butter sandwiches are good.
Or just plain peanut butter in general. Get a spoon and just
Yeah.
scoop yourself a little bit of it.
I do like jelly. Actually, have you ever tried cream cheese and jelly on a bagel?
I have not.
That's pretty good.
Maybe I'll have to
Someone
try
told me, and I was like, I don't know about that. It's good. Don't.
Good to know.
I'd still choose peanut butter over
Yeah.
jelly though. But yeah, do you have anything more?
No, I think I'm good.
Well, that's great. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Hopefully you can bring home a sectional and division title.
Hopefully that's the goal.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Derek Smith Spiel. If you like what you heard, follow me on Spotify by searching the Derek Smith Spiel, clicking the follow button, and hit the bell to be notified for future episodes. You could also follow me on Instagram at DerekSmithStock13. I'll have posts for my newest episodes as well as posts of baseball and football cards. If you're ever interested in purchasing a card or checking out my collection, you can check out my Collects account at Derek Smith Stock. If you ever get bored and find yourself on YouTube, check out Dylan Smith's Outdoors to see Dylan Smith's adventures in the woods as well as cooking videos. Last but not least, if you need your lawn or house sprayed, call Greenwood Ecologics at 585-739-1610. Now, one last time, thank you for listening. I'll catch you later.